the domain model for domain models. And I had something come up this week. I just want to talk about that. It's really kind of cool. I'm going to talk about open spaces, open offices. I'm going to talk about functional programming. I'm going to talk about language specifications, user stories, and philosophy. Okay, I'm going to do all in about 5 minutes. Let's do this. Topic came up in Hacker News this week. Yet another in a long series of articles about open spaces suck. People hate open spaces. I bet you 90% of the open spaces I've seen in the corporate world are bad. They look a lot like sort of a cafeteria where there's big tables. It's no good. I think people mean well. I think they're probably trying to solve a really good problem. It's just they don't understand what they're doing. So that's just what we're going to solve today. And since you don't understand what you're doing with an open space, kind of highly doubt for you're actually going to get it done correctly. Let's say you were learning a new language. I don't know, French, German, Swahili, Visual Klingon, something. You're learning a new language, and you're going to learn it by instant messenger. Okay, so you're going to receive some stuff through instant messenger, and you're going to learn this new language. Is this possible? No, this is completely fakakta. Would not work, because you can't learn a new language with having people sort of send you random symbols through a computer interface. It just doesn't work, right? We've had years and years of studying how to learn languages. The way you learn a language is you become immersed in it, right? You go to Paris, you walk down the Champs-Élysées, and you buy a baguette, and you learn. You have to solve problems, interact with people in that language to learn the language. This is a known fact, right? We've known this for decades, hundreds of years. So it's context and immersion. Okay, so instead of trying to learn an entire language, let's say you just had to learn one word, okay? Let's say I've hired you to do some programming. I've got this function I want you to look at, and it's called add. We have it here on the screen. It's an awesome function. So all I need you to do is write another program that does what this does. You might ask, well, what does this do? And the answer would be, I don't know. I know everything but what this one word does. We know the same language. We can converse in English. Me and you are simpatico, except for this function they'd replaced. You can play with it all you want to. So you sit down and you go, okay, fine. Let's see, add about 1 plus 1. Well, seems that makes sense. How about add mouse? Well, that also, mouse is not how about add 2 plus 2? This starting to look familiar. Add 2 plus 1. Yeah, I'm not trying to be pedantic here, but we need to try some test cases out. This is called design by specification. So what we're doing is we're spec by example. Sorry, we're creating a specification by actually trying different things. Just try add 3 plus 1. This is how about add 1 plus 3. This is called commutability. Oh, looks good. So you play around for a while with this, and you're like, I think I understand what this new word add means. I think I can run a function to do that. And then one day you type in like add 4 plus 4. It says pickles are running to the ocean. Now, you did not expect that for an answer. It makes no sense in the context you think you've created in your mind. This is what's called the problem of induction. And that is the turkey, when he lives at the farmer's farm, every day is a happy day. The farmer brings out food and he feeds the turkey, and the turkey just gobble, gobble all the time. The farmer loves him because each day he's seen how the farmer loves and feeds him. Case n equals 1 looks like this. Case n equals 2 looks like that. Case n equals 3 looks like that. We can extrapolate to all the natural numbers. That's called induction. Doesn't always work. That one day, Thanksgiving Day, the turkey's there and the farmer come out. All that induction doesn't work. So the induction we did just here with the 1 plus 1, all that stuff, worked fine until it stopped working. Now, what does this add function do? I don't know. I can't see inside it. The guy doesn't know either. But we know that the previous mental model we had, where add matched up to this addition, doesn't actually work for some reason. And there's a puzzle there we need to solve. So let's take a look at the code. We couldn't do this normally, but let's look at the code. And the code basically, number command line arguments. It looks at does the command contain an equal plus sign? And if it's two arguments and it has a plus sign. Then it tries to split it to plus. If there's two pieces there, pulls out the left-hand side, the right-hand side, and adds two together, unless left-hand side's 4 and the right-hand side's 4, which is just what we demonstrated. Of course, this is a completely made-up example. It's also quite wordy for what it does. But the point here is that without looking inside, you don't know. You just don't know. Now, instead of learning French, which we have to do by immersion, or instead of having learned what this one word add does, I have some really bad news for you. And the bad news is, for every successful project you're going to ever create in your entire life, there's a magic 40 words or so. I'm just swagging it. Maybe 20, maybe 60, probably around 40. And these 40 words are words that you all, with your group and team and people creating solution, think you have the same definition for, but you don't. Now, you might think, well, cool, we will just go make a glossary of all the important words and the problem we're solving. No. It would be really nice if those 40 words were related to the specific problem you were solving. They are not. Many times, it's like add works this one way, unless we're talking about this problem over here, in which case it's a special case. So in this case, add would be the word, but would only have a different definition in some context for some other problem we're solving. So you can't make a list of sort of the critical keywords for whatever you're solving. You don't know. There's a mysterious 40 words that you have to come in agreement with your customers and the rest of your team to make your program successful. You don't know what they are. They don't know what they are. You can't open somebody's head up and look inside there to see how the code runs. So this is actually a much worse case than trying to learn French or a foreign language, because every word is in your natural language. So it's not as if you're going to come across, you're going to have a natural conversation. Suddenly somebody will say Beelzebub, and you're going to say, gee, what does Beelzebub mean? Nah, that would be easy. Instead, people are just going to use natural language all the time. And you have to figure out which words are those, one of those magic 40 words you have to drill down on and find a better definition for. This is called analysis. This is why programming real solutions is tough, as opposed to like taking orders at McDonald's. Because somewhere there's a disagreement in language terms that you're only going to find out by context and immersion. It's the same as learning a foreign language. You can't force it. I can't send a bunch of text messages to you and tell you what those words are, because I don't know myself. Nobody in the team knows until you find them. And so what really open offices and this sort of putting people together and you can't work at home, what we're trying to solve here is finding those 40 words and executing on them. Now, this is just for creative solutions. If you have a solution you finished, well, first of all, you should be finished. I mean, you may be a month or two to wrap it up, but if you solve the problem, you solve the problem. We don't write programs that go on forever. And so it's just about creative solutions. It's not about you're not doing bug fixes. It's not about your production support. There's a whole slew of stuff that is more of a service ticket based. We don't need no definitions, Dan. We just need to code the freaking product that are fine. But if you're doing something creative, if you're trying to really sort of actually earn your paycheck, you're going to have to find those 40 words. And you have to find that by somehow immersively interacting with people in your team and product customer base. As a sidebar, one of the things I wanted to do this week that didn't get to do is incremental typing, which is just adding enough types inside a program to make the program run. And as I started typing this, just sort of swagged out this morning, I thought, well, I had to check the number of command line arguments. I had to check the command plus. And as you can see, I sort of logically thought about the command line and the pieces here. And then I got to the end, I went, holy shit, what the hell am I doing here? I mean, really, I have 3 cases. Something fails, it's a 0. There are numbers, but they aren't 4s. Okay, so add the numbers, and they're 4s, and give you the sort of the shield word or whatever. This should have been like 3 lines, maybe 4 lines of code. I don't usually do this, but I could have put like a try block around this whole thing and just tried pull off. I could have actually done like a string split with equals on the command line and just tried to pull the numbers off by brute force. And the whole thing would have just been, hey, if you fail, give me a 0. If you don't fail, either give me the answer or the magic words here. Instead, I had to type each little piece of this because in my mind, I'm trying to deconstruct the perfect solution. None of that was necessary, but it was fun to do anyway. So this is about open spaces. This is about words. This is about specification by example, immersion, problem with deduction, turkeys, functional programming. It all comes together. I wish I had some magic. There's been a lot of templates for finding those 40 words. We can talk about domain modeling, event storming, and all that stuff's really, really important, and they help. But you'll never really be a professional programmer until one day you're eating a burrito and your customer next to you says, blah, 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 blah. And you go, holy crap, that's the answer I've been looking for all this time. Those times suck because you wish you had some sort of magic sauce for it, but that's just the way things work, bubs. I am Daniel Markham, and I will see you on the internet. As soon as I turn this dang thing off.